and welcome back to TMNT Podcast. I'm your host, Michelangelo, and co-host right here is Kyle Heath. This is the show where we cover gaming industry-related news of the last week. This week, we're going to cover pretty much the Summer Games Fest is really the focus here. We're going to talk about everything that was announced for the Summer Games Fest, and then leading into the Xbox Game Showcase. But before we get into that, Kyle, how you been, dude? We talked a little bit before the pod. It took us a while to get started, but
Yeah.
how you doing? What games have you been playing? And are you excited to talk about the Game Fest?
I'm always excited to talk about Game Fest stuff. Yeah, dude, I've had a decent amount. Like starting a decent amount this week of game wise. Just kind of trying some different things. Catching up on some games I've been playing. Particularly made some more progress on Split Fiction. Logged about 3-4 more hours.
Very nice,
dude. So far, I must say, Hazelight outdid themselves. I think this is
Really?
I'm enjoying this a lot more than It Takes Two, and I really enjoyed It Takes Two. So I think they're improving upon their formula in a good way. And I don't know, man. It's just a solid title. It really is. And
Okay, so just to recap, you were last at where you basically one person became essentially like Tinkerbell, like a fairy,
yeah,
and the other person became like Donkey Kong or something. What?
yep,
Nice.
that's where I was. And admittedly, that section, like, I mean, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but that section actually took a while. Like, there's a lot to do in that section.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and it really enjoyable. But yeah, a lot to do in that section. We played the section after that, my buddy and I as well, and to each section we play, it's like it's so well done and just so good. And I think I don't know that you could just tell it's very planned and like kind of what they do and like. I was like, at one point, I just like stopped and was like, I feel like in their meetings when they're like deciding what to do for the game, they're like just sitting around and like someone will just come up with an idea and they'll be like, let's do that. Like whether it's a graphical change or like some sort of art style, they're just like, let's do it. Why not? And it's kind of, I feel like that's how the meetings go because that's how it seems when you play these games. I mean, obviously there's like sections where, there's longer form sections that are more fleshed out. But like those little like side stories and stuff, it's kind of just like, I feel like they just sit around and like I like this art idea. Let's do something like this, and like someone pitches something, and they just go for it because there's some really cool art styles you run into throughout this game, throughout the different side stories, and
Oh yeah, you kind of
so
already see it in a lot of it. Like the drastic, you really feel like you're in a different universe when they switch between fantasy and sci-fi. Everything about it, the colors are different, the art style is different, mechanics are different. I always notice that too. It's really cool.
yeah, I don't know, it is certainly not disappointed, and I don't know, it gets me excited to jump back in and complete the game and just see kind of what all is there because I just think the story concept is so sick and it's playing out really well. It's just very well done. So I'm excited to keep playing for sure. But yeah, that was the main game I continued this week. Outside of that, dove into some new titles. I launched the good old Xbox Game Pass on my console over the weekend. I was just like, what do we got here? Like, what do we got to play? Decided to boot up the first game, Doom: The Dark Ages. Played the first couple chapters of that. But yeah, I played the first couple chapters. Like, I was talking to a coworker about it too. It's like what you get so early on. Like, there's like the saw shield, whatever they showed in the trailer. It's like you get that early on, so it's like you're just like playing. And I didn't realize I'd run into that so early, and then so you get it, and I'm using it. It's just a classic FPS. I mean, I was playing on the controller, just felt good, but like. I think part of me, I downloaded it on my PC because I think part of me is like, I gotta try this on keyboard and mouse. I feel like it would just fit. I feel like it would fit just so much better on a keyboard and mouse. I feel like I'd enjoy it more. So, yeah.
Have you had a chance to play it yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, yeah, you got to give it a shot. If it's already downloaded, you should try to play it tonight. Like play like probably 10-15 minutes or something.
Just like check it out.
Get the vibe.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Yeah, I was like, dude, I was like playing with Chrome. Like, this is fun. But I feel like this would just be so much more fluid for me if I was playing with keyboard and mouse. So I got
100%. Yeah, I mean, you're pretty good at keyboard and mouse games. So
yeah, no, I've gotten accustomed to that. I think for FPS anyway, I've got more accustomed to that over the past like decade for sure. So definitely got to check that out. But yeah, so I played some of that. Played the first couple chapters. There's a bit of a story too, which I was telling you I wasn't. I don't know. I just didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't expect.
You didn't have a clue.
I don't know. I didn't expect it was a story. I was just like, I just thought it was, you jump in, kill demons, and kind of just like have fun. But no, there's definitely lore there. So
it's 100% one of those. It's a classic FPS in the fact that you can you can really dive into the lore and learn the story yourself. It doesn't really like you can kind of skip through without really paying attention to go to kill all the demons and do all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But if you really pay attention, you really get to learn like, oh crap, like this is actually going on. And then there might be one or two things that really catch your attention. You want to pay like you want to go figure out and start doing research. Have you had that scenario yet?
Not yet.
The-
Not yet. But
yeah, I had that with Doom Eternal, bro. I was just like, "Who's this again?" And then I go look into it. I'm like, "Oh my god!" You keep going further and further. Same
uh,
thing happened with me with Diablo, because I was so super late in Diablo, and I'm like,
oh
"What?
yeah.
Who is this?" It's like, "Oh my gosh, this is a world like that." Like, oh, that's so cool. And you start learning more, get
Yeah.
invested. It's really cool, really fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll get there at some point, but I don't know, I definitely enjoyed the first couple chapters of that. Played some of that. Only a couple hours in. But I was sitting around for like, especially like most of like Sunday morning. I was kind of like sitting down. I was like, really want to play something. Didn't know like what to play. I was looking through Game Pass. I was like, Doom is fun, but like I definitely want. I'm feeling like a story right now. Like I want something I can like really get enveloped to.
Indie. That would be my guess.
Yeah, like it's. I was like, I want something I really get invested
No,
in.
I'm thinking Indiana Jones.
Oh no,
That's
yeah.
what.
No,
That's probably what I would have jumped into.
I think they announced some DLC for that that's coming out soon. But anyway, that's
Yeah.
something for later. But yeah, no, I was like sitting there, I was like, oh, I really want a good story. I noticed I was looking at the games and I saw Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and I was like,
Oh.
I never played these games. I've heard a lot of great things. Some people, it's like their favorite franchise ever.
Oh
Like
yeah.
some people really love it. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna check it out. And so I fired up the first game, playing, and like the first like 30 minutes, like it's already hooked me into the story. There's already good concept there. I'm like, all right, I'm in. So I just started playing, and little did I know, I think I'm like 4 hours into this point, and just like it's just like whoa. It's the first game. My only like complaints really is like obviously I think it was made in like 2007. Obviously at that time like there were some great third person shooters for sure, but like this is very much like kind of like shooting's not. I could feel like the story is obviously the main pull. Like the shooting and the controls definitely are a little like I don't think they've aged too well. They're a little clunky.
That's fair.
So
Yeah.
I'm hoping kind of in the later titles
It's
that's
it's
addressed. But
always yeah, I mean, it always kind of felt that way to me, like,
mm,
the whole time. Just
yeah,
clunky and
I mean it's
weird and
it's not.
slow.
Yeah, it's not clunky enough to the point where I don't want to play. Like
Yeah.
it's definitely manageable. So and I'm roped into the story enough where I'm just like I got to see how this continues. So I don't know. I'm excited. At least I've played a few hours at this point. And really been enjoying it. So I'm excited to jump back into that and kind of see how that story unfolds. And having 3 games to play, it's like I got a lot of content to play. So I'm excited. But yeah, dove into that, man. I was trying some new stuff this week, trying to get back into some gaming, especially kind of over the summer, and you know, kind of just especially with like the Games Fest and stuff, just kind of get me excited for new stuff. So I'm just like, all right, let's hop back in. Let's catch up on some stuff, try some new games, and yeah, it's a lot to look forward to. So
It's really good, yeah. It sounds like you had way more variety than I did. I was over here stuck playing, uh, a little bit of Splitgate,
yeah,
a little bit of did I even play? I don't think I did. My whole last week has just been kind of a blur. I was working most of the weekend as well. Didn't really have much time to
mm,
game. Totally a bummer. I watched a couple of documentaries. Went to a show last night. That was kind of cool. But in terms of video games, I did get a chance to start up Split Fiction. Yeah.
there you go.
So I had to find another partner to play.
Mm,
Unfortunate. Had to start over.
mm.
However, I got to play like before I played the fantasy character, which I think is Zoe, and then Mio is, or maybe I got them backwards. Mio's the
No,
other one,
yeah,
or
I
is it
think
Mia?
Bo is the sci-fi one, and Zoe's the
Okay, so
yeah.
yeah, I got to play as Mio, whereas before I got to play as Zoe. So we made
Mm.
it all the way until after the pig fantasy side quest.
Okay, okay,
And so we're still in like the first
okay,
like cyber
yeah,
story,
yeah.
and it's gonna be interesting to see how we like progress through. I forgot how long the like sci-fi uh story actually is.
Yeah.
And now when you said that like the fantasy aspect with the level that I last got to at the beginning with the fairy and the gorilla, it was very long, and I'm just
It felt
thinking,
longer
well,
to me. I don't
the
know.
sci-fi one was really long if you think about it.
Yeah,
The thing that broke it up was you would have random like little side quests for the
yeah.
fantasy stuff that made it easier.
Yeah.
But those were fun.
I mean, yeah, it's good. I mean, like, yeah, like I say, it's like they're long, but it's like I don't know, it's still good. Like it's definitely not a knock on it. So
Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, it's just one of those things. There was a the way I did play it, so I have the game on PC and it's on the EA Pass or whatever.
mm.
For whatever reason, I don't think you can play that game. Like it's not cross-platform. Like you can't buy it on EA on your
Oh,
PC and then go
interesting.
play it on your Xbox,
Yeah.
which is really annoying. But what I ended up doing is I streamed from my Xbox and controlled my PC from my Xbox.
Mm.
So we had like an Xbox One controller, an Xbox Series X controller, and we're just gaming.
Yeah.
It was seamless. It was like really good. There was like one or two moments where the display became unsynced and then it crashed, but it
Oh,
was because my resolution on my monitor is 2K and the Xbox can only handle like but Xbox can technically handle 4K, and it was trying to stream in 4K, but I had a 1080p TV, so it was just none of it was meshing properly, and like the frame rates were all wrong. So
yeah.
I downsized it to what it should be, it automatically calibrated. We had no more issues, and that was really like that was pretty early on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been. I got back to grinding some video games, and I should
It's
be
fun, man.
doing a little bit more this weekend. My guess is I'm gonna be pulling out the old N64, playing some Smash. Got a buddy coming in from out of town. We're gonna go watch some
That's a
hockey, but in the
vibe.
meantime, we're gonna be gaming. Good old fashioned co-op on the couch, you know? It's gonna be a good
That's a
time.
vibe, dude. Sounds good. Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
I didn't even mention I played Split 2 as well. I logged a decent amount of time over the weekend on that as well. Yeah,
Nice.
I had a lot of gaming this weekend, but yeah, that was something. Especially after the showcase and like they announced the BR. My buddy and I were
Oh, play
like,
the VR
dude,
so
we
bad.
need to try this, and because they launched it right then and there, so we hopped on
Yeah,
and played for a couple hours. It was fun. Hopped on the next morning, played some more.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
it was a good time. It was a good time. I think they have something interesting there with the BR and the portals and stuff. So
I like that. Did they do like can you obviously you probably can drop in solo, right? Can you drop in as like a group of two, three, or
yeah,
four, or anything
so
like that? How do they do it?
we only saw quads, I think. So it was only fours
Okay,
that they had live for the
that's
BR,
fair.
anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had to do four. I mean, it would just pair you with randoms if you, because it was just me and my buddy, and we would always just get paired with two random people.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was good in that way. I mean, I think the shooting is fun. It was very satisfying to just like just beam somebody across the map, just like
Oh
just
yeah,
flying
laser.
around and like you just portal through, just
Yeah.
like and just yeah, I don't know, there's something fun
So
about that.
cool.
Um,
Is there a limit on how far you can do your portals?
I don't think there was a limit. There was a they do have like they have different tiers of like portal kind of tools, so you can do a certain amount of portals because they limit the amount you can do. So it's like you can only do like two portals like every I don't know what the timer was, but like you can't like spam six
Oh, it's a
portals
cooldown.
in succession because there's a cooldown. But if you find like a higher tier kind of I guess portal shooter, then you could do kind of more in succession, or succession. You could just do more frequently without running into that cooldown issue. So it's kind of a way of
That's
limiting that. But
yeah, that's a really good idea. I like that.
yeah, yeah. I
It's
mean, I
a,
think
that's
yeah. I something that's interesting about it too is like if especially if like teammates get wiped, there is no dropping in. So like
yeah.
if your team gets wiped, you just spawn on your teammate. So like there's a lot of situations that we even ran into where it's like you're down to the last couple teams and someone's just really good at ratting. So like you have like you'll like kill like two or three of them, and there's one guy left, but he's just really good at running away and like porting out, and then like all of a sudden
Oh,
you don't know where
dude.
you went, and the whole team spawns, and then like if they're a good team, which more than most of the time they're able to get it together pretty quick, and then they'll wipe you out, and it's just like that can get frustrating at times because it's just like oh man, it's just that one guy, but I mean it's
Yeah.
part of the tactic, just to get out
Yeah,
and
this
try and survive.
honestly, yeah. I mean, that's just a battle royale tactic. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, so,
That's really cool though. I didn't know it was a cooldown. That basically gives
yeah,
people the opportunity to get used to the way the game functions, and hopefully they can sell them on the arena shooter aspect of the
yeah,
game.
yeah. I
I
mean,
really want to get like fully into it because it just seems like such a fun game and
yeah,
super fluid. And to me, it's something unique.
yeah.
I'd like to play it
I
more.
mean, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, we played one of the modes too, where it's like the objectives is trying to wipe the whole squad, and so like it's like an
Yeah.
arena style where you're just in an arena, and the goal is to try and wipe the other squad fully first, and like everyone like you die, you have a cooldown before you respawn, and like the more your team dies, the longer those cooldowns get. And so eventually it's like
Wow.
eventually you'll have like a 20-30 second cooldown when you die. And so it's like if 3 of your teammates get wiped and they have 20-second cooldowns, it's like your teammate has to stay alive for 20 seconds while someone tries to get up. It gets pretty
That's a
intense.
long time. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun though. There's a lot of like kind of cool strategy and stuff you can kind of come up with.
Honestly,
on that.
that could be kind of similar to what they did with what's the game? Helldivers.
Yeah,
When your whole team dies except for one person, they just need to stay out of combat and you got to go revive them.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
that's really intense. I like that idea.
yeah. That
But
was
hey,
a cool mode. Cool mode.
how about we check that out after we're done doing the podcast? Let's dive
Yeah,
into what's going on with Summer Games Fest.
yeah. We have a lot to go through, Mike. We'll may switch back and forth a little bit. I don't know. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot to go through, but also like I'll just cover the highlights. You know, there was a lot announced, and I think a certain
It was,
amount
but it
to go through.
I thought it was a decent Summer Games Fest. I don't think it was like blow my mind crazy, but at
Yeah,
the same time, it's more of a teaser for what's going to be coming in about a year, maybe 2 years.
yeah,
Not too
for
much
sure,
outside of that.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'll certainly go over some of the stuff I was excited for. Obviously, if you have stuff you want to cover while I scroll, just stop me. But yeah, I mean, just kind of like general overview. I'm going bottom up with this in the article because the article kind of talks about the main announcements at the top, so kind of saving those for the end. But it was, I mean, and this is in no particular order. It's just I'm pulling from an IGN article that was composed of kind of the highlights of the show. So I don't think this is in order of the actual showcase, but they start off talking about the Chronicles, Medieval, which is a pretty cool sort of like this looks really. It was narrated by Tom Hardy, but it's like it kind of reminded me of like a chivalry kind of style. I mean, obviously it takes place in that kind of time period, but they show some gameplay at a certain point because it's like it's very cinematic, but then they actually show some gameplay at one point.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, this is looking like KCD2 over here. It's
It's like this thing's looking legit.
yeah. So that was really cool. Like I remember seeing that live and I was like, whoa. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, cool little medieval title out there. It looks like there's probably gonna be a story involved. Thought that was pretty neat. You
I was a big
mentioned
fan of how they had Tom Hardy in it.
yeah.
He's one of
Oh
my
yeah,
favorite actors.
narrator for sure. Yeah. Talk
Okay,
about
go ahead.
talk about ill. This is a game I saw. I was like, whoa. The Mudfish Powerhouse. That they showed a few things in the actual showcase, but Team Cloud was making this. It's just one of those like kind of grotesque kind of horror. It's kind of the vibe. Very sort of like, gives me it gives me a little bit of that like Silent Hill, Resident
I was
Evil
gonna say the
enemy
same thing.
style.
Yeah,
Like, um,
it's very, very horror,
yeah,
and there is some elements where I'm just like, what the heck? It's like straight from hell, kind of.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is one I saw. I was like, okay, this is interesting for sure. Just kind of seeing what this will ultimately be. I mean, it seems like an FPS, so you're just roaming around first person in these horror
Yeah.
infested environments, and there's like even hordes at one point. I mean, it's kind of crazy just seeing like hordes of this gross looking like almost like naked monsters. It's kind of what it looks like. But yeah, I mean, they show like there's different elements like you're shooting like you shoot their head and it's like it takes off a chunk of their head and like or you shoot their kneecap and they fall. It's kind of like very reactive in that way. So
Oh, dude, yeah.
yeah.
And not only that, but like the modeling of that little baby running for anybody that's watching the screen, it ends with just like a Chucky Child's
Yeah,
Play style.
yeah.
It's terrifying.
And the character
It's
just
coming
kicks
out on
him.
console too. Yeah, I
It's
thought that
so
was pretty
cute.
cool. The
Yeah.
crowd laughed to it as well.
Yeah, there's a visible pop on the of laughter. Yeah, man. This is one of the trailers that I thought was really interesting though. Was the ill trailer? So I'm excited to hear more about this. Sucker for some good horror, so definitely intrigued nonetheless. Haunting body horror game is what IGN calls it. I would agree, but yeah, another one. A little change of pace. Lego Voyagers, Mike. You ever want to be a little Lego piece?
Kind of.
You and someone else.
I think this is one of the I don't remember why it reminded me of this game, but it's like there's an Xbox Game Pass game that is indie made, no real narrative or talking, and it's just beautiful scenery going
Yep.
from like one obstacle course to the other, and it's really really fun. Very simple. This looks like a game for everybody.
Oh yeah.
You know who it remind me of is like fathers with daughters or sons
Oh
that are
yeah.
relatively young, like early teens, stuff like that.
Yep.
And maybe they're not get that good at video games, but the dads or the parents or the moms or whatever are like really big into it. This would be a
Yeah.
perfect game to kind of showcase.
Oh yeah.
And plus it's Lego, you know?
Yeah.
Lego's awesome.
Yeah, dude. It's yeah, it's one of those games you can introduce someone to games. So yeah, I mean, I definitely see the father son, father daughter, mother son, mother daughter, like kind of thing. I think
Oh yeah.
I think it'd be a great
Yeah.
introduction. And yeah, but I mean, I think too, it's like it's a game anyone can enjoy. I mean, I was watching the showcase with some friends, and we were just like we saw this, and we were all just kind of like, dude, this looks amazing and adorable, and like we were all just like
Yeah.
into it when they showed it. So, yeah, I mean, it definitely looks intriguing. So, um, yeah, this is something I might end up checking out, especially if you have someone else to play with. It's like good co-op game. I'm always down
Oh
for that.
yeah.
So,
I also love the fact that we should mention it has the split, like in the description, it says split fiction style friends pass.
yep,
And basically, for anybody that doesn't understand what that reference is, it means one person has to own the game, and then the other person can download a version of the game that's for friends only, the people that did not purchase the game. But you can still play it with people because
yeah,
it's a two-player co-op game, and if you don't play it with another person, then you can't play the game.
um, yeah,
So the incentive is like just split the price or whatever you want
yeah,
to do. But at
yeah.
least
It's
one person needs it.
kind of the incentive. Yeah, I mean, I think it's always been amazing for these kind of games. It's like they don't force you to buy two copies because they could certainly
I
do
like that
that.
idea. Yeah.
And but I
Mhm.
think the fact that they don't do that, it's like, yeah, you got the consumers back. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. It's like
You
we'll
want
just
us
split
back,
the
baby.
cost. We'll
Uh
leave it up to
huh.
y'all if you want to split the cost, kind of thing. So I love that. But yeah, dude, that game looks so sick. Definitely excited to see what comes of that. Um, oh man, Atomic Heart 2. They talked about this. I was surprised to see Atomic Heart 2.
Dude, it seems super recent, right? I
Yeah,
mean, Atomic Heart 2 came out when?
hmm.
Not that long ago.
Yeah,
I was
just
kind
a
of
couple years ago, something like that.
I was really really surprised that they were already like, okay, here comes the second one. Let's
Yeah,
see, I'll look up when Atomic Heart
yeah.
1 came out.
Yeah, I mean, they announced Atomic Heart 2. They also announced like a side project in the Atomic Heart world, called the Cube. It seems like that's maybe some sort of like multiplayer MMO. Excuse me, some
Yes.
multiplayer
Yeah.
MMO style game. But the premise is sick. It's like you're on a cube. The cube is rotating. It's a whole like environment, kind of reminding me of Halo in a sense, where it's like it's got this kind
Yeah.
of greenery across this cube, and looks like there's tons of like world events and stuff to do. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So we'll see what comes of that. But yeah, Atomic Heart 2 was also announced, and so yeah,
The first one came out February 20th and 21st, depending on platform, in 2023.
yeah, okay, a little over 2 years. So,
That's not yeah, not too far away. So it's pretty
yeah,
impressive. Um, and honestly, like the demand on the first game isn't that much.
yeah,
It's like recommended at least like a RTX 2070.
yeah, yeah. I
That's
mean, it seemed like it came off that way when it came out, right? It was kind of just like um, a nice little story game with an interesting kind of premise, and it seems like two is kind of building upon that, kind of making another little kind of weird, interesting game. But yeah, the Cube I thought was interesting. Seeing Atomic Heart 2 that quickly I thought was interesting. So,
yeah. They
so
they they must know what they're doing. Or
yeah,
I mean, the customizability in the game looked pretty sick with the weapons when they do that like full showcase of all
yeah,
the different attachments, and I really like that. That was cool.
yeah. I'm curious to see what that MMO is like. 'Cause that was an MMO style, so I don't know. Curious to see the Cube for sure. Oh man, highlight of the show. Why'd I say
Yeah,
Sonic
so you think
Racing?
it's Sonic?
Sonic Racing. It
Nice.
was cool to see this. I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I think it's always cool when I see like racing games. Like I always enjoy like watching racing games, whether it's Mario Kart or like even like Forza, the more realistic ones. It's like it's cool to watch sometimes. But
Do
seeing
you prefer to watch it over actually playing?
for me for the most part, yeah. Like I've never been like huge into racing games. And like when I
Yeah.
watch it, I'm not like actively watching like hours of gameplay. It's cool to see all that. I mean
Oh,
like
just see what
like Mario Kart,
just fun.
Mario Kart's one I'll definitely play. But like seeing Sonic Racing and kind of seeing it's Mario Kart in the Sega world. That's kind of the best way to
Yeah,
put it. So
and during the actual Summer Games Fest, they who was it? The creator of the game gave a shout out to Nintendo and basically said they're not as good as them or something
Oh yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, it was funny. Yeah, after they announced it. But yeah, did you get like the Joker from Persona? You got like all these cameos.
Toxic.
The best I mean the best cameo is coming up. I gotta show it. It's a good old
Oh yeah.
good old Minecraft end up making an appearance. I thought this is so sick. Like the mine cart is used as a car. And you're like going through the nether and stuff. I think it's so funny. Yeah, amazing. Ender Dragon's in there. Dude, it's just so it was really cool. It like came out of nowhere. I was just like laughing. I was like, dude, this is not what I expected. But yeah, it's
No.
coming out soon. It's coming out in September. This September, so it's right around the corner, but I don't know, it's cool to see. It's one of those things. I don't know, like if I have friends that play it, I might end up getting it, but as of right
Same.
now, no plans. So
We ain't there yet.
we'll see. There's certainly some say anime games that they showed off. Some really cool ones though. I mean, Bandai Namco announced some stuff and talking about Toa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree, Hades like action game. So it's very kind of top down, that style of Hades. Definitely heavy inspiration.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So it's cool to see something like
I
that.
mean, that's not a bad formula because
Yeah.
Hades actually won Game of the Year. So
Yeah, great game.
yeah.
It's one I definitely want to play eventually because there's a second one too. It's like this whole trilogy. I'm gonna wait till the trilogy comes out. I'll play it.
And then grind it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Stranger Than Heaven. I saw this one. This was, I think, when I saw like the initial trailer for it back at, I think it was Game Awards. They were talking about this. They showed it off. Kind of a
Yes.
teaser, and seeing that, I was like, okay, this is interesting. But they actually showed a more kind of story trailer this time around at Summer Game Fest. So it's cool to see. I mean, this is, it reminds me of that kind of Yakuza style, and looks like there's kind of some interesting twists and things this protagonist does, and but it's got that. To me, it has that Yakuza kind of charm to it.
Yeah, it
when I look
does.
at it, so definitely in that style, I feel. But
I mean, it's based out in like the scenery is based out in Japan, right?
yeah, looks like it for sure. So Project Century, whole thing there. Wildgate. I don't gotta see the trailer. Space shooter from former Blizzard devs. Coming out very soon. Yeah, so, classic. It looks like an interesting concept, interesting idea. Sure, kind of out in space and spaceship battles and sabotage, and looks like just your good old FPS. Anyway, so former Blizzard devs.
Yeah,
I mean, they know FPS well.
I like the way it looks. I mean, Blizzard does absolutely crush it with their FPS, and Blizzard has this weird way of doing their art style, where every time you look at it, you're like, "This is definitely a Blizzard game." Is that just me?
Kind of has even though it's former Blizzard devs, man, it kind of seems like they took some of that with them to the studio.
Yeah,
So,
they like have a style that they always stick with. You
yeah,
know, it's kind of cool
for
to
sure.
see. It's already in open beta, going on basically right now. If you want to go check it out, it's coming out next month.
Yeah, right around the corner. Around my birthday. That's pretty close to my birthday. Hey. Death Stranding 2 got a nice story trailer for this. Seeing this trailer, I mentioned to you, I think before the show, seeing this trailer, I have Death Stranding 1 not installed on my PC, but it's in my Steam library that I got for free a while ago through,
When are you gonna play it?
Humble. I don't know, dude. Seeing this trailer, it's like, okay, maybe I need to like actually play these games. I mean, Death Stranding 2 comes out, I think it's like the 20th. It's like right around the corner. They say,
Yeah.
26th. So it's like right around the corner. And it has me intrigued. I'm like, maybe I should go back and play Death Stranding 1 and like kind of soak up that story and check it out. So, I don't know. It has me intrigued for sure. So seeing the second one, it's like seeing these characters interact that I have no idea who they are. It's like there's something there. I think that's also stuff that's probably carried over from the first game. It's like I gotta check this out. So I think eventually I need to bump that up my priority list of games to play. I think so.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, when I watched the trailer, I had no idea what was happening.
Yeah.
I never played the first game. Honestly, it was like Death Stranding 2, and I'm just like, where's that one actor from The Walking Dead again? Because he was the main
Norman
character, I
Reedus.
thought. Norman Reedus, thank you. So I was like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
But you're right, it's like there's obviously something going on that we don't know, and I want to know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very well acted. It's very well done. So, I mean,
Oh, for sure.
I've always heard Death Stranding. It's always been the meme. It's like the walking simulator or the UPS
Yeah,
delivery simulator or whatever. Like, I always hear
brutal.
that
Yep.
meme, but there's clearly more to it if they're making a sequel and like people seem invested. So I need to go back and see what that game was actually about. I think. So yeah, I don't know. I get into the nice Hideo Kojima mind and see what he's crafting here. So I'm excited to eventually get to Death Stranding 1, but it's this trailer got me intrigued to the point where I think I'll have to check out the first one and get involved. So
Well, the first trailers were like really, really good.
yeah,
Great teasers.
yeah, they were like really oddball, and you're like, whoa, what's going on? And
But I think the problem for me, weren't they only on the PlayStation?
I think for a while, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
PlayStation
like
only.
I don't have
Yeah,
PlayStation, so
it's true. It's true.
that would be the bottleneck for me, other than lack of time. That's
Well,
been
no.
eaten away.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I forgot about that, but yeah, they were exclusive for a while, so made it difficult to get into for sure.
Mhm.
Killer N, I saw this. I'll be honest. Like I watched this and I was like, another Among Us. Among
Yeah,
Us.
I kinda thought the same
That's the
thing.
vibe I got. I was like,
I
I
kinda
don't
thought the
know.
same thing, but at the same time, like, it was kinda there's a little bit of weeb in there, but it was also kinda horror-ish.
Yeah.
I like the art style, it was pretty cool. But you're right. It's very much just like, yeah, it's Among Us, but
The
it looks
mystery
more
game.
realistic.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like,
Uh,
what do you mean by that?
yeah,
Oh, it's a team-based social deduction game?
yeah, it's
Okay.
like so Among Us. Like you don't want to say
Yeah.
what is it? I don't know, that's where my mind goes. Maybe that's a harsh criticism. I don't know.
Or it's, like, based on the TV show. It feels super,
Is
what
it
do you call
Knives
it?
Out, dude?
Super
Is it very Knives Out?
Yeah, Knives Out was
Is it
one of
Knives
them.
Out?
Yeah, I did. That was good. The other that's like more of a movie, right? Or like a mini
Yeah,
series.
it's a movie.
There's an actual reality TV show that's called Traders that is just like this.
Oh, okay. Never heard of it.
I think it basically I mean murder mystery parties have been a thing for forever, so it's not like
Yeah.
Among Us was the first to do it.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely not.
I just think for the circumstances during the era where Among Us was
It's dominant.
everybody
Yeah.
played it. Yeah. I think it really picked up, and now developers are like, "Oh, we can do that. Let's do a twist with it. What are we
Let's
gonna
do a
do?" And
variation. Yeah,
yeah, variations. That's kind of key.
yeah, for
It
sure.
looks cool though. I mean, obviously, I think the gameplay is more about who's in the game with you
For
than it
sure.
is about what you're actually seeing.
For sure. Yeah, the
That's
social
the
aspect's
key of
probably
why
going to
Among
carry most
Us.
of it. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, dude, if you boil Among Us down to like the tasks in the game, it's pretty minuscule and
Yeah,
boring.
exactly. It's all
It's
about
all
the.
about who you're playing
It's
with.
true. Very true. It's all about that. Yeah, if you don't have a good group, then it's just like, eh.
Yeah.
So for sure, yeah, this game's gonna be a lot of that too. Need to have a good team, but yeah, I don't know. Jokes aside, maybe it is. Maybe it has a good chance of finding a you know. It'd be a good streaming game. I have a feeling it's probably pop off on Twitch or something. But
Oh yeah, I think it would. If you get like a good enough group of people gaming together, it'll
yeah,
pop off.
it'll pop off. Sure. You remember Mortal Shell, Mike? 'Cause I honestly forgot about it. Long,
Mortal Shell. No, I don't think so.
it's
Actually,
a
I never
long. I feel it's
played
a
that.
long time ago the first one came out, but they announced the second one. I think it was like at the top of the show too. They announced this. Um,
It did. It was like the first or second one they showed.
yeah.
The first one actually came out August 18th, 2020, and it was on all platforms except for
Yes.
the Xbox Series X. Believe it or not,
Well,
kind of surprised.
the second one's coming to Series X, so there you go. But yeah, they market it as a standalone sequel to the first one. Expanding on the story and such. I think the trailer itself, and like seeing all the monsters and stuff, it was kind of like it reminded me of like a Souls like, and it very much is a Souls like, so it's kind of in that same vein. But yeah, dude, just the interesting enemies and stuff. I mean, I think it's kind of it's what makes the Souls like so kind of interesting is what you fight in this kind of world. So I don't know, graphically looks pretty good. I don't know, Souls likes. For me, it's like one day I might get into Souls likes. One day when I'm like, I don't know, if I'm like in my 40s, 50s, I'm looking for something to challenge me again. Maybe I'll hop on Souls Likes. I don't know. Maybe sooner than that. I don't know. But like right now, it's like my
That carpal tunnel
perspective.
gonna hit different.
Like, dude, my perspective on Souls Likes is like, I don't know. I feel like I have to use my brain a lot at work. So it's like the idea of
Same.
like using my brain a lot at work and then like having to use my brain a lot at a game just does not appeal to
Dude,
me. It's just like
bro.
I'm already going crazy. Like I don't know.
Don't get me started.
I like my work is a nice challenge, and it's like for me, it's like I don't like I get enough kind of mental gymnastics and stimulation from that. I just feel like trying to put that same energy into a game just seems very tiresome to me. So that's why I just don't mess with them.
I think I was listening
maybe I'm
to
wrong.
a YouTuber or some type of content creator. It might have been a comedian, but they had such a good take. They were like, I go to work and I stress out of my mind, and then I come home and you want me to grind 500 freaking hours. It had to be like Angry Joe or something like that when he was so mad about having to grind to unlock features in the game that normally would have been
Yeah,
with the game on release.
yeah.
Like one of those kind of rants. He's like, "You want me to stress out of my mind? You're trying to make me treat this as a full-time job. This is messed up, blah, 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 blah." It's like, yeah, he's making a point,
Make
man.
it a point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Make it a point. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. It's just like maybe one day I'll be like, all right, check them out. I mean, I played like I said, I played Fallen Order, Star Wars game, and
Yeah.
that's a Souls like. And like there was challenging fights. I just remember that final boss. Like, I must have spent like 2 hours on that thing, dude. I died like probably 40 times, and I was just like, at certain points, like do I give up? But I didn't, and it felt very rewarding, I will say. So I mean, that's the payoff I think most people play for. But for me, it's just like I just look at it and I'm like, was it worth it? Like I just reflect on it, like, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, dude. Maybe I'm just not built for it or something. But I don't know. One day I'd like
You're
to get
built
into Souls
for it.
like.
It's just about applying it, man. That's all it really
One
comes down
day
to.
I will find the dedication to check out. I mean, because the Dark Souls games, like a lot of the games are must plays, and I know that, so I have to play it someday. Just it's part of the rules, so just got to do it. But maybe Mortal Shell will eventually fall into that list, you know?
Gotta hope so. This is the way.
Yeah. Dude, we have a Scott Pilgrim game coming out. What year is it, Mike?
Dude, I thought the same thing. It didn't make sense to me why it was making a comeback, but
Crazy.
hey,
I really think about it. Like, there hasn't been a Scott Pilgrim game, and that movie's how old? Like, just haven't. Wow.
no, there was a Scott Pilgrim game. I can't remember which game it was. Actually, we got the internet, brother.
Yeah, can't remember.
So the film came out in 2010. I remember because I was in freaking high school for that. Yeah, and Pilgrim versus the World, the game came out August 2010. It came out on Amazon Luna. Flashback, dude. Remember we like first
Oh,
started this podcast? We were talking about Luna.
yeah.
I wonder if there were sequels because I don't think there was. Not that I know of. Yeah, so there was Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game complete edition, released in 2021. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
So another take on Scott Pilgrim.
yeah, it was on the Xbox Live Arcade if you remember that.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
maybe that's kind of why they were showcasing it. It's not like full game, but it's also, hey, come check this out.
Interesting for sure. But yeah, Scott Pilgrim coming out. It's a fighter. If you're into those team fighters, there you go. You and a buddy can hop on and just beat up people. Hitman in the lieu of the 007 game announcement.
Dude,
Hitman's out
that
here.
one had me stoked. Remember we were talking about 007, what was it? Last week.
Yeah.
For the Switch 2.
Yeah, it was announced on the good old PlayStation.
Yeah, literally like 2 days before Summer Games Fest, and then they started showing that high res, that high quality 007 scenario, and they brought in Mads Mikkelsen, and he's playing Le Chief, which is pretty sick from Casino Royale. I'm a big fan of that movie. It's like one of my favorite 007 movies ever. And the fact that like Hitman's in it now, it's like, what is going on, dude?
Nice little crossover to get people hyped.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, looks interesting. For sure, it's kind of setting up the 007, streak.
By the way, the Hitman, he looks like Orlando Bloom, or is it just me?
I can see it. Bald Orlando Bloom. I see it.
Yeah, bald Orlando Bloom. I don't know if it's true or not, but true to me.
I mean, I can see it. Jawline, blue eyes. Where's you?
Yeah.
I can see for sure. Ah, yes. But a lot of people are coining as the marathon killer before marathon's out. Arc Raiders. October release date, PC, consoles. Showed a little trailer. I don't know, get people excited for some Arc Raiders. A lot of people are not like a marathon. They're like, oh, Arc Raiders, baby. That's where it's at. So
yeah, the AI usage and then partially stealing artists' work, that kind of killed a lot for people.
It's not looking good.
Tough.
We will see the
Yeah.
marathon saga unfold over the next coming months. But you don't have to wait too much longer for Arc Raiders if you're looking for some sort of kind of extraction joint to play. So,
No, sir.
almost there,
Yeah, it
dude.
looks solid.
Almost there. Remember we talked about, was it WB Games, Mike? And they were talking about Game of
Yes.
Thrones as one of their IPs they had. We were like, what are they going to do with this? Like, they keep on mentioning Game of Thrones. What they want to focus on is one of their main pillars. We haven't really seen anything. Oh, we got a Game of Thrones game coming up. It's looking interesting.
Yeah, I like the premise too. It's like,
Interesting.
well, the description here, I'm a big Game of Thrones fan, so I'm pretty excited about this. But it's going like Game of Thrones, War of Westeros lets you take command of the great houses and even the Night King himself. I don't think there's ever been, or I I don't think anybody would ever think to be the Night King. Just an all-powerful demigod. It's
Crazy.
just crazy.
Yeah.
The undead.
Well, yeah, well, it's a good old RTS, which is interesting. I suspected probably a
Yeah.
story game of some sort. They were going to put out something. But hey, this is a start.
for
I mean, this is probably isn't going to be the only Game of Thrones game in the
Well,
works. So
I like the idea of it being an RTS because I don't think we've had a good RTS in a while.
I mean, yeah, that's how I feel. Not one that's like especially broken the plane.
No,
So
it's been a minute.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. We haven't had RTS in a while, so hey, RTS fans rejoice. You're gonna have a Game of Thrones themed game coming out soon. So
Yeah, which is pretty sick, dude. You can basically be like however many houses are in Game of Thrones, which is I'm sure a buttload.
yeah,
Yeah, there's so many different options you could do. It's a really good idea.
yeah. There's a solo, but there's also a free for all multiplayer, so you can have some friends jump in, try and conquer each other. We'll see. So pretty interesting stuff. Onimusha, where the Onimusha fans at? I don't know. Game looks really good. Nice little sword fighting action game. Seems like there's some Souls-like combat in there, but it doesn't seem like a Souls-like. Kind of seems more of a story-driven samurai style game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, art style and stuff looks amazing though. Graphically looks really good.
Dude, it looks gorgeous. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's absolutely stunning, and it looks like all of this looks like to be gameplay too.
Yeah,
All I
that's what it
see
looks
is
like,
just my GPU is going to be cooking.
I'm about to clean my PC out for sure if I'm playing this. But
It looks really, really good though. I like
yeah.
it a lot. Uh, I never really played the Onimusha games, pretty much ever, to be honest. But they always intrigued me. It goes back for me. It goes back to like the Japanese culture of just games in general. They look really fun.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, this is certainly no exception. Yeah, it was cool to see combat stuff there. Yeah, it's got a lot of stuff. Got a Wu-Tang game. We got Dying Light announced some DLC stuff, or Dying Light the Beast. I don't know if it's DLC. This is just like I think it's a standalone thing. But seeing like I guess the next standalone story puts
Dying Light,
players
yeah.
back in the shoes of Kyle Crane. Following the sequel, which came out in 2022. Kind of crazy to think about 3 years ago. So,
2 ages ago.
yeah,
And it looks insane. Some of the graphics, you're just like whoever made the graphics of that creature that you just saw on the screen, where it's like crazy mouth breaking out and just super gory and horrific. They need to see a therapist ASAP. Like these are wild animations. It looks nutty.
Yeah, it's so crazy. But yeah, the biggest thing about Dying Light is the parkour, jumping across buildings, and
That's right.
driving trucks and everything. Yeah, looks like good
Get
old
to explore
Dying
the
Light.
world a little bit more. Mm-hmm.
It's like Dying Light. It makes me wonder if they're going to change up any of the gameplay aspects, or if it's going to be very similar to 2. But I guess we'll see.
I don't know. I don't think you want to break the formula of a game that's actually successful, but I
Oh
think
yeah,
you
that's
just want to
fair.
add on to it.
That's fair.
Comes out later this year in August.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. There you go. Liza P Overture. Get some more Liza P content. There's a lot of people that really enjoy Liza P. So hey,
Dude,
shout out to them.
I keep getting upset every time I see like the new DLC. That I keep seeing streamers going back and playing it over and over again after this announcement. Um, man, I need to play that game.
Yeah.
It just sounds like I've heard nothing but great things about it. It seems so cool.
Yeah, it was a Pinocchio playing as him. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, artistically, this game always looked great. I mean, it's a Souls like, so it just doesn't appeal to me. But um, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's gonna be on my list whenever I do get around. One of these days, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna
One
get
of
on these
these
Souls like.
days,
I'm just gonna
yeah.
pile in the Souls like list. One of these days, I'm just gonna bang, 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 bang. So because yeah, there's really cool art style and overall just really satisfying games. All right, the last game we'll discuss. This is
Oh yeah.
important. I don't think they set this up, but this is important to know. Everyone going into the Summer Games Fest showcase was excited about the possibility of Capcom releasing the next iteration of Resident Evil because it has been, I think 4 years at this point since we've had an iteration, the next iteration within the Resident Evil franchise. Resident Evil Village, 2021, when that came out, and yeah, we've had a couple remakes since. I mean, we've had, well, I guess before Village, we had Resident Evil 3 remake, which unfortunately just was short. It was good, but it was short. And then we had Resident Evil 4 remake in 2023.
Yep.
Solid. One of the, like Resident Evil 4 is easily one of my favorite games of all time, without question. And the remake really kind of sealed that. It's just like the story just works still to this day. And just giving it a fresh coat of paint was just like just so needed, I feel, and it just, I don't know, played really well. Just really solid. I think I like the iterations they did and changing it up. Regardless, that was 2 years ago. And so everyone's like, okay, where's Resident Evil 9? Like, we want the next iteration in the story. Halfway through the showcase, one of the leads at the studio comes on. He's like, look, we're not ready to show Resident Evil gameplay yet. We're working on it. We're just not quite ready to show it yet. And so halfway through, it's just like, I see that. I'm like, no, dude. I'm like bummed out. I'm like, come on. I really wanted to see next Resident Evil. Like, I get it. I want them to take time, but it's just like, oh man, I just feel like it's time. And so we go on the whole showcase. At the very end, they show a trailer, and Jeff Keighley preps it up. He's like, yeah, he's like very, very excited. They're gonna be showing this game here.
Yeah,
can't wait. It's something we've been working on for a while. Happy to show it to y'all. Here it is. And so the trailer starts, and it's like, you see it's like in an office setting and like in a cubicle, like this classic kind of style office.
Oh yeah.
You see like a very determined individual walking towards someone's desk and trying to get, information, and goes there, you see the person's typing, and I should have noticed looking at the screen and looking at the font. I'm like, okay, let's a little Resident Evil, but you know what? I didn't think it. I was just like, all right, there's no way this is Resident Evil. I'm just gonna see, what is this, like at first I saw kind of the way she was sitting in the hair. I was like, is this like a Death Note game? Like, what's going on? Is that L? Like, what's going on here? And so I'm like, that's where my mind's going. So, but the trailer continues, and it's like, it's a horror game. You're like, okay. And then it all unfolds about halfway through the trailer when, because he talks about like Miss Ashcroft. Ashcroft is a character, like, it's, one of the characters in the storyline, but it's a very kind of like, you have to really know the Resident Evil lore to understand who that is. So it's like, I say the name and stuff, but they keep going. Eventually they show the trailer, and like the trailer keeps going, and it's like they're showing all these scenes, and you're like, what's going on? They show like an overall like view of the city with a giant crater in it, like a nuclear bomb went off. And then you start like putting the piece together, you're like, wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
you see this, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. What do they do at the end of Resident Evil 2? Just like you start piecing this stuff together, like, okay, what's going on? And so you see all this, and then it cuts to the iconic Raccoon City Police Department, just out of nowhere. It's like you see a rubbled Raccoon City Police Department, and you're like, RPD, you see the logo, they show the iconic kind of centerpiece with the statue, and you're like, what is happening? And then like the trailer keeps going on, and then at the very end they show RE9 Requiem, and it's just like, what? And like I think everyone, you could tell everyone at the actual show was like freaking out. And of course I'm sitting here, dude. Like I'm sitting here in my seat, I'm like, dude, I just got bamboozled. Like they're like sitting there saying they like baited us so good, but it was just one of those things. It's like, they played it so well, and it's like that's never happened before, not that I remember. And so it's like to do that is just like it's so bold, so good, and they give us a
It's
release
the
date on top of that. Just,
it's the right way to do it. I think there was one part in the scene um before she starts hallucinating on her computer screen. I'm pretty sure maybe there's a paper. It said Raccoon City on it. I might be wrong,
oh,
but
I don't know
I
if I
thought for
caught that.
sure. Like I'm watching it again, and I'm trying to find it because there was this one giveaway where I saw it and I was like, Raccoon City, that's Resident Evil.
I
And then I
didn't.
was like, this isn't
Oh,
really.
I don't know.
I forgot where I saw it. Let's
I
see.
didn't
Will it show
did not
it?
analyze enough, but yeah, could be clues there.
Yeah, because I'm trying to let it play as well.
The RE engine, oh man,
It's
I will
so
say,
good, dude.
RE engine graphically doing good things. I know we got Unreal, but RE engine, that's all.
I gotta be real. Like the Resident Evil style for how they're doing hair, and by the way, they totally missed out because my man over here, they put a bald man in. Her hair looks amazing.
Dude,
Like,
yeah, the
like it
hair.
looks so good.
Yeah, there's something very unique about RE engine hair that it's like you see it,
Yeah,
you just like you kind of know it's RE engine. Like it's yeah,
yeah.
and they definitely show that. I mean, it's very well done, but yeah, it's like you
It's
can
like
piece it
anime
out.
style,
It's
but it's
like you can
also
kind of
like
yeah, they have a unique way of doing
really
it for
good.
sure. But yeah, it's always really good. So I mean, I don't, graphically is man. I don't know, dude. I'm excited, and now I'm like on the Resident Evil side of Twitter now, and I'm seeing all these people posting, like gushing
Oh
about
yeah.
it, like how excited they are, and it's just giving me more hype. And end of February, it's not far, so it's not too much longer. But yeah, on top of this, not mentioned here, but they actually did a behind closed doors demo with some press
Ooh.
at Summer Games Fest, and some people saw like a little like 10-15 minute section of the game. They saw gameplay, and apparently it takes place in like a in the house that we see, or like kind of like the what looks to be a house in the corridors we see in the trailer. It's kind of like that section where they kind of show that off. But the biggest piece, the biggest thing I saw gets me even more excited. They were talking about
What's
they
that?
showed off in the settings. They go to the options menu, like it's like halfway through or something like that. They go to the options menu and everyone's thinking like, okay, what are they going to show off? Like you can do something in the settings. Like why are we doing this? But like they click on the options and then they say there's a third person toggle and you can click it and it goes into third person. But apparently at any point in the game you can flip between first and third person. And I was really hoping there was gonna be a third person toggle because like I played Resident Evil Village in first person and it was good. But then I went back when they added third person DLC and like they added a third person perspective. I enjoyed the game so much more in third person. And I think like Resident Evil's meant for that third person style. So I don't know. That's got me very excited.
Yeah, the option to choose is always gonna be the best.
Yeah.
That is a good idea. I kind of like for me like horror games. Maybe that's because I grew up playing like Doom and stuff like that, or like
Yeah.
gory stuff. It's always first person,
Yeah. I mean, hey,
but I can get it. Yeah,
everyone
I
has their
can get it.
preference. Everyone has their preference, but I don't know. Like RE4, like playing Resident Evil 4, and like third person, like the iconic third person, you see Leon and like just kind of going
Yeah.
through, you're playing as that character, and it's like I feel like it really like connects you with. It kind of like you want Leon to succeed, but it's also like you feel like you're this badass because like Leon is, and so it's like I don't know. There's just something about that I really connected with when I play those games in third person. So I think giving the
Oh
player
yeah.
that freedom in this one is it's amazing. So people can play their style. It's got me more excited for sure. So and then like you can flip between them too. There might be sections where I'll like if I'm like in a dark hallway or something, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna hop in first person real quick. I want to experience that, like you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think having that freedom's cool, but yeah, dude, I'm super hyped for this. As a diehard Resident Evil fan, got me excited for sure.
Yeah. It's looking good. I feel like we've done this a couple of times where these showcases will just be kind of geared towards a genre, and I feel like this genre was more about a little bit more about like the Souls-like games, but horror as
Yeah,
well.
that's
With the
I
exceptions of like
think yeah,
Sonic
in
and
the Lego
the
game and
Lego game. Yeah.
yeah, there's those. No, I would agree. I think we're very much in a like a Souls like horror kind of like meta. I think with a lot of
I'm
games. So
I'm honestly like really glad for it because there's been, in my opinion, games used to be very difficult and they used to be very gory and like rated M for mature. That used to be the thing. Like
yeah,
it it was a different era in the 2000s because it was all about what can go over the top. People are pushing the limits on TV. People are pushing the limits in like movies of what was acceptable and stuff like that, like trying to define the norms. And then we had a big pullback during like the 2010s where some of the best IPs that I knew about went more PG. So like the blood, the gore, very violent games became more arcadey. It's like they weren't bad games, they were just different, right? The art style changed.
Yeah.
And now I'm seeing like, dude, there's some of these graphics with um obviously Resident Evil, but Resident Evil didn't really give that good showcase of the real gore. And I think the real gore was ill. Like
Oh
ill
yeah.
is no joke. And
Yeah.
Dying Light is kind of cartoony and parkour-ish, but that ill trailer, my goodness.
They let
What
up.
in the world?
They let up. Yeah, it's
Yeah, so I think that's really cool. I mean, Mortal Shell kind of has that like really big gore. There's like blood everywhere. It's like, oh my gosh, heck yeah, dude, let's get violent, ripping out
yeah.
skulls like Doom style.
Yeah.
And I personally like that because I want my games to be kind of violent, but I also want it to be over the top and so over the top it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
want it to be like I don't know if it's Bangladesh or India, but I want it to be that level, Bollywood, I think it's India, Bollywood level of just over the
Yeah.
top cinematics and ridiculous
Yeah.
storyline because I wanna be engaged, and I think we're going back to that a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely swinging that way. So, um, it'll be interesting to see kind of next year what's shown. I think too, there's a lot of non-horror. I think that's kind of in the works,
Oh,
but
for
those are
sure.
like the
Oh, yeah,
bigger
yeah.
games that are taking time to cook. So we'll get a lot more of those announcements and releases next year. So
Yeah.
excited to see how that swings. But I mean, Souls likes are so in because of Elden Ring. Like it just had
Yeah,
launched.
dude, yeah.
Everyone's trying to not like copy it, but they're doing their own spin on it. And I mean, for the most part,
It
they're all good. I mean, I don't think there's been like a bad one, but yeah,
no, I don't think it's about being good or bad, right? I think it's just about, like, kinda being trendy, kinda being just what works in a way.
yeah,
What sells, but also what is fun for developers to make, probably.
yeah,
Because you know they don't wanna make crap, and they wanna have fun with it.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, so much so that the Souls like stuff that Naughty Dog, their next game is at least teased to be kind of a Souls like style combat. So we'll see.
yeah, that's right.
Oh man, dude, this Xbox showcase, Mike, there's a lot. This Polygon article has everything, so we certainly don't have to go through everything. Because I have my highlights, but
All right, we need to double check. So I accidentally opened up the wrong Polygon article because there's two of them. Honestly, I'm going to keep the links in the description. So we're about the hour mark now for people that are still with us. We appreciate you. We do leave links in the description below. We also have timestamps. I'll probably link both of these Polygon articles. There's one that just basically gives a whole as like timeline of how things went. I kind of like that
yeah.
for articles because there's like the live feed event post article and then there's the recap articles.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you're looking at the recap article. What do you think is the best? Should I start at the bottom and just work my way up, similar to what you did with Summer Games Fest?
Yeah, I think that could work. I mean, I think either way, it's kind of like taking the approach.
All right. Jeez, there's so much to deal with. All right, so basically, it starts off. Is this in order? I hope so. I don't really think it is it?
It might not be, honestly. There's
I'm
a
looking at it now, and it doesn't seem to be in order.
oh, oh
It
man.
looks like it goes with a Plague Tale prequel revealed at Xbox Game Showcase, and then good luck finding it because that article is insanely long. Let's just
Yeah,
start at the top and work our way
yeah,
down until we get to stuff that we don't really recognize.
yeah.
So I'll go ahead and read the intro to this article that Warder put together. He's the journalist over at Polygon that put together this entire thing called "Every Big Announcement from Xbox Game Showcase." And let's just go ahead and start reading it. So Microsoft brought out some big guns at its annual Xbox Game Showcase on Sunday, revealing a new Xbox branded handheld, an important update on Hollow Knight Silksong, Double Fine's new game Keeper, the long rumored Persona 4 remake, a Call of Duty Black Ops 7, and there were also plenty of lower key surprises, including the reveals of some sharp looking indie games. Xbox head Phil Spencer also promised that in 2026, players will get to celebrate 25 years of Xbox with a new Fable, the next Forza, Gears of War E-Day, and the return of the classic that's been with us since the beginning, he said. And then presumably Spencer means Halo with the latter tease. If you couldn't watch Xbox Game Showcase 2025 live, here's a recap of all the game announcements, release dates, trailers, and other highlights from Microsoft's big game showcase. So I'm pretty sure this article is going to contain a lot of the indie stuff, because after every Summer Games Fest, then they do the Xbox Game Showcase, then they do like the indie special that Microsoft has. Their indie program's actually pretty sweet. Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about Persona 4. The remake is out here. There was a teaser trailer that got released. It is one of Atlas' more poorly kept secrets, is now confirmed. Persona 4 is getting a remake in the vein of Persona 3 Reloaded. Reload. Did you ever play the Persona game?
No, man, they're all very long from what I've heard. Like you were talking 50
Yeah, they're
plus hours, 100 hours even.
they're
pretty long.
grind. I'm
Pretty
not gonna
long.
lie to you.
Yeah,
It's no
but
joke.
hey, dude, Persona fans rejoice because sounds like you're getting a good upgrade. So
Yeah, essentially. I mean, there's really not much to say. It's a 45-second
yeah,
trailer
it's a
with
little
music playing in the
teaser.
background, and then you could just pick the era it might be in based on the scenery that you have.
Yeah, for sure.
They're probably mid 2000s, my guess.
Dude.
Going into it, there was a Hollow Knight Silksong was teased,
Oh
and
man, I know people were excited for this. See, the thing was they teased this when they announced
yeah,
the Xbox handheld. So
yes,
it's like it was an interesting way to kind
kind of
of tease it.
genius.
But yeah, because a lot of people were looking for Silksong. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna get Silksong." It's like they didn't see it at
Mhm.
like the PlayStation 1, and so there was a lot of people that were like upset, like, "Man, no Silksong." And so for Xbox to come out and like tease it while they talk about the new handheld they made, it's kind of crazy.
Yep. So no release date, unfortunately, but this is about. Honestly, we kind of covered a couple times of the Rogue Ally and how there were potential leaks. Who was it? I think they got. I think they looked at, what do you call it? IP, like licensing patents.
Yeah,
Patents. There was a patent for the Rogue Ally, and somebody noticed that there was an Xbox logo embroidered
yeah,
on
yeah.
one of the patent links. We covered that probably about a month and a half ago. So now the Rogue Ally is out, which is pretty sick. Honestly, it looks way better than the patent. There's a couple little accents to it that make it look nicer. Uh, but basically, this is for the Xbox now, and they teased it using Hollow Knight. So there is no technical release date, but Team Cherry came out and basically said, "Hey, it's coming.
Yeah.
Hope
Yeah,
get
I mean,
excited."
yeah, I think Sarah Bond said in the trailer that like Silksong is going to be launching with the Ally X.
Yeah, which
And
should be this year.
yeah, I mean, it's
So
holiday 2025. That's what they said. No set date yet, but they're saying holiday 2025. And I don't know. I will say like I've watched some of the technical like demos and videos. Linus Tech Tips did a video on the new handheld. It's I don't know, man. Like I see it, and I'm just like, oh, it looks so nice. Like I know we see like all these handhelds and they all look nice, but like the fact that Xbox is working with Windows to make a version of Windows that is more tailored to kind of a gaming device and that's kind of, getting rid of a lot of the bulk processes that just don't need to run in favor of a dedicated gaming device. It's got me intrigued. So I think and like I think ultimately, and even Linus mentions in the video, I think this will help other handhelds that want to adopt Windows for as
yeah.
their basis, but it could also in turn help the desktop version of Windows for like Game Bar and stuff like that, and like actual gaming on the
Oh,
desktop.
that's a
They
good
want to
point. Yeah,
they want
because
to
the
try
game
and cut
bar,
stuff. Um,
yeah, the game bar's been taking for freaking ever for them to sort out their own crap. It's
yeah,
been so frustrating. Like it's gotten so bad now that I just turn it off because it's just not. It's not where it needs to be. That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
I mean, dude, ergonomically to this device, man,
It looks clean.
the side grips look chunky and look comfortable, and like just seeing that, it's like, oh,
Mhm.
they even it was even mentioned that the screen is like slightly tilted a little bit to like try and
Yeah,
help with kind of neck angle and stuff. So that'll be interesting to see if that actually like does anything. But I don't know,
I
man.
think
It
it
looks
will. You know,
looks good.
it
It's good.
looks really good. Looks really good. I'm pretty excited about it. Um,
Impulse triggers, baby.
yeah. You say what?
Impulse triggers.
Oh
AMD
yeah, Pulse Trigger. Yeah.
Z2. I think it's an AI driven chip. So it'd be cool to see how that kind of works. But I mean, there's a lot packed into this. I'm excited to. I don't know, I'm eager to hear the price points and kind of excited. I think it's something too. Like, I don't know, dude, if I ever decide to get a handheld, depending on how well this one is, this might be the one I end up going with, just to be in the Xbox ecosystem. You know, something I enjoy.
Yeah,
And being able to use other
that's a good
stores.
point.
It's a Windows device technically, so you could use other stores on it as well. So
I need them to actually integrate more into Samsung, and anything with Sony would be nice.
yeah, yeah,
All right, let's continue on. So, Game Freak's Beast of Reincarnation. This is a quick little trailer. It's about a minute and a half. So, Pokemon developer Game Freak revealed Beast of Reincarnation, an action game previously known as Project Bloom, coming in 2026. Beast of Reincarnation is set in post-apocalyptic Japan, a land ruined by corruption and crawling with monstrous beasts. The developer said players will explore what it means to be human in Beast of Carnation and expand one person, one dog action RPG built around demanding technical combat. That sounds insane. Single player game looks like. Looks pretty clean. Looks kind of, I don't know. I like the art style, and hopefully the action with it is good.
yeah. But it's
What do you think?
interesting seeing this game from the Pokemon developers.
Right?
Now, I wouldn't have predicted this. So
No, who
hey,
would?
it's very very left field. I feel like for them, but hey, I'm here for it. Here for it. It's good.
Yeah, it looks clean. It looks very clean, and it's just a good change of pace to see developers mixing up their arsenal. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
All right, let's go into the next one. This one's kind of a yeah, we know is coming. Just getting excited.
Yeah. True.
Um, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 was revealed. Of course, it was. There's always a new Black Ops. There's always a new Call of Duty on the
Oh
horizon.
God.
Always.
Oh God.
The same old every single time. So this year's Call of Duty has been revealed. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 stars David Mason, who leads the Black Ops team against a manipulative enemy who weaponizes fear above all else. Black Ops 7 promises a co op campaign, near future weaponry, new multiplayer maps, and the return of round based zombies gameplay. A full reveal of Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is coming this summer. Well, I mean, summer is still going on for a couple more months. It's got to
Hey,
be soon.
Gamescom. Maybe.
Gamescom? Oh,
Probably a good
maybe.
place to do it.
Or I'm pretty sure there's going to be another showcase for Sony. I could see them doing it there as well.
Yeah, maybe it'd be bold. I mean, they did it there with Xbox owning them, but possible.
Well, I mean, it could be one of those like
Partnerships.
what's it called? Yeah, not yeah, kind of like a olive branches because
Yeah.
Sony was so upset about Call of
Oh
Duty
yeah.
going to Xbox,
Yeah.
and Xbox is like, we don't care. You can have whatever you want with Sony. It doesn't matter to us. They could definitely just be like, all right, well, you guys can showcase it. Who cares? Because
Yeah.
for them, it's going to sell regardless. It's on the Game Pass.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, hey, co-op campaign and it's on Game Pass. I might have to download it, dude. I
Just
don't
saying.
know. I mean, just a campaign, co-op campaign. Get a boy, get the boys, bro. Some of that could be fun.
Mason's whole thing was when they tortured him and basically turned him into like, what do the numbers mean, Mason?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. But it's great.
Think so.
I will say, I gotta give it to him. I saw this scene and I was like, what in the inception am I looking at? Like I didn't realize it was COD at this point. So I was like, whoa, this is okay. What's going on here? But yeah, Call of Duty.
Yeah. All right. There are a couple more in here that I'm like pretty freaking excited about. The Outer Worlds 2. I mean, this has been announced for a while. I think we all kind of knew that The Outer Worlds was going to be having a sequel regardless of like the moment the first one released, they were like, yeah, we're definitely doing a sequel because we're into this story, we're into this
Yeah.
line of gameplay. So it's Obsidian, absolute goats. They did a direct showcase for Outer Worlds 2, and basically we got to look at the gameplay from the comedic sci-fi RPG. It's just more Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
It looks sick.
Everything
really
you
fun.
want to know about Outer Worlds 2.
Yeah.
I did watch kind of the after direct as well. Yeah, dude, I mean, look, Game Pass. I'm gonna download it. Like, I'm gonna check it out. I like I said, I played the first game.
First one was on Game Pass, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I played most of the first game. I never ended up finishing it, but then my save got deleted somehow, man, and that was years ago. And I'm like, maybe I'll jump back in. But I mean, hey,
Absolutely tragic.
yeah, it's tragic. But like, I don't know. It seemed pretty interesting. I think there's like it's interesting. I think there's something about Obsidian games when I look at them, and I've heard this sentiment echoed too, where it's just like there's something about it that just feels, I don't know if like clunky is the right word, but just kind of like stiff in some areas. Like, I don't know if it's animations or what, but it's like it's something. It's like it looks like it's like almost there in some cases. So
I agree with you. I think I know what you're talking about. It just doesn't feel totally fluid.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something I've noticed with these games. But I mean, I played, like I said, played through most of the first game, and I thought the story wasn't bad. So we'll see. We'll kind of see how this pans out, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. We got the they got the direct show this year. I think last year was Call of Duty, and the year before that it was Starfield. So Outer Worlds 2, Obsidian gets their time to shine. So it's crazy, man.
Pretty true.
I don't know if we'll mention it too, but I mean, there's Obsidian's releasing 3 games this year, which is like they got to slow down, man. like you release Avowed and releasing this, and
I think you're right, but at the same time, I feel like they kind of know what they're doing a little bit more than other developers that have a lot of games on their plate.
Yeah, I mean, they're all technically continuations of IP, right? So I mean, I guess there's that, but yeah,
established teams with an established brand.
Yeah,
creating a sequel. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like the Project Lead 2 that was on Avowed, I think she actually left. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on with that game, but yeah.
Well, we know how things fall apart when that happens. Very tough.
So it's like, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, hey, it's right around the corner. It's a little October release, you know. So.
Oh yeah. Alrighty, so going into the next one, you got Clockwork Revolution. This is the trailer that came out. Honestly, it looks sick. When we first saw it, I thought it was really cool.
It looks better.
1895 sci-fi-ish RPG steampunk shooter. Very, very cool.
Game looks better and better each time they show it.
I think this game might be a total bop. A lot of people keep saying it's like gives off a lot. Even in the description, they're like it gives off a lot of BioShock vibes.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this game is going to be a success. They show mostly campaign, story-driven stuff, and like cutscenes. Pretty violent game, over the top, and just intense. And you get to customize a little bit of the guns, the rifles, a little bit of personality in the game as well with your character. Really cool.
Yeah, dude, it looks really good. And if I'm not mistaken, this studio in Exile, they actually ended up, I don't know if they technically poached, but they ended up getting, I believe, one of the cinematic leads or the cinematic designers that worked on Red Dead at Rockstar. So that's why like they show these sort of like game, like when they show these elements and like they show the dialogue and the cutscenes and stuff, they look really well done. I think that's wise because they got some people that, you know, really knew what they were doing from like a storytelling cinematic standpoint. And it's like you immediately see the effects of that, kind of how that's like, and it looks like that's paying dividends already. Yeah, dude, it just looks really, really good. And there was a lot more details too. I think that was talked about outside of the video. I think like kind of the opening, I think they spent like a lot of time on the character creator and stuff too, like insane amount of time. So yeah,
I mean, it makes sense.
It seems like the humor's there. It seems like like I said, all the cinematics and stuff just look top notch. Writing seems good. So I don't know. Every time I see it, I'm just like, I want to be in this, dude. It's in Exile, bro. It's been a while, and it seems like they're killing it so far with this. So
there's a lot of, and they have like really cool abilities within the game, and like grenades that just spawn a turret. You have like this clock on your hand where you can rewind time and go back and get rid of your errors. You can vaporize other people. It looks really, really cool.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
A lot of
to
people
see.
can get into this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that time piece, like how big of a factor that plays in the story, because it seems like there is. They mentioned that it could actually, you know, you could rewind certain events and can affect other things, and it's like that could be hard to do in a game. So I'll be interested to see like how involved it is, but
it'd be so much fun.
It just it looks top notch AAA for sure. So excited to see more gameplay and as we get closer. I think they mentioned too, like it'll be like, you know, it'll be released when it's ready, I think was how they phrased it. So it's kind of like they didn't mention a date. I presume it's probably going to be like at the earliest, probably holiday 2026, and then, you know, but likely 2027 if they aren't comfortable with the release date yet. But I mean, what they got so far, man, looking like they're getting pretty close. So I don't know.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it's kind of polished, to be honest. It could be launching tomorrow if they wanted.
Yeah. gunplay looks interesting too. I mean, all just all looks good.
That's right.
I
You know what's the
mean,
other gunplay that's looking pretty solid is High on Life 2. I never got around to playing the first one, and I
same.
feel so guilty every single time I see gameplay of it. It looks sick. So Squench Games' wacky first-person shooter High on Life is getting a quick sequel. High on Life 2 is coming to a long list of platforms this winter. Around the corner. Yeah, dude, the ability and like some of the stuff that they added on, the way things look, it looks so
Yeah,
this that scene where you're like skating on a half pipe and you're
yeah,
using a shark as a gun, like what?
yeah. I mean, it's all in engine too. That's pretty impressive. Seeing all this and
Yeah.
kind of looks really well done. Dude, the guns. The guns talking to you was always funny to me. I don't know. It's like,
It's hilarious. It's like kind of adult content here and there too.
yeah,
Really cool.
yeah,
And I just love the whole premise of how ridiculous it all is.
yeah. Oh yeah,
To me, it's one of those games that's just it kind of makes me think that whoever came up with the story and whoever's been writing and producing, creating the art for it, this is like for the love of the game kind of
yeah,
game. Just over the top, kind
yeah.
of silly,
The definition of
awesome.
over the top. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know,
What
man.
is that? It's like a bow
The
and arrow
bow.
with
He's in a pill bottle. That's just crazy, dude.
it's so crazy. All right, so moving on, just to speed up a little bit, we got Ninja Gaiden 4, and every Ninja Gaiden is basically the same. You're getting the same stuff. Slasher,
Ding
going
ninja.
crazy. You're a Ninja Gaiden.
You're a ninja.
It's just such a classic.
You're a ninja.
So,
Fight for the god, baby.
yeah, fight for the Gaiden. Team Ninja keeps the year of the Ninja going on Ninja Gaiden 4, which is now has an October 21st release date. PS5, Windows, Xbox Series X. Honestly, have you ever played Ninja Gaiden game? I think I told.
I'm
Yeah,
not. They're on Game Pass.
I think, dude, all the games they're amazing. They're so much fun. If you like, just want to button mash and
Yeah.
go through it, just destroy everything. It's so much fun. So much fun.
All right.
I recommend it.
All right. I
Yeah,
will
jumping into
play
the
it.
next one. It's gonna be out in 2 days. Multiplayer beta is good old Gears of War Reloaded. So there is a new look for Gears of War Reloaded gameplay. Gears of War Reloaded is out August 26th on PS5, Windows PC, and Xbox Series X. A new multiplayer beta test is opening June 13th. So that is actually this Friday. So by the time anybody listens to this, it's already been an open beta weekend. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of gameplay over this, dude. I think it's just been more and more kind of like get the old fan base back
No.
to entice them for E-Day. And
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe.
honestly, dude, E-Day is gonna bring me back for sure.
Yeah.
The whole story of Gears of War is so awesome.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I think they will probably give me incentive to go back and check out the old games, and this is another reason to do that. So.
Honestly, it is. Yeah, because E-Day is like, I mean, Reloaded. I've seen some old pros coming back and they have hundreds of views. Stream like 100, like 500, 600 people watching them just grind out these games. Very, very fun. I feel bad for the Gears of War esports scene because they were so well established, and then the games just stopped being made and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
disappeared, and
It's
all
true.
support kind of vanished with it. So to see that they're doing some Reloaded remake kind of stuff, and then they're going to be launching E-Day, that's a good opportunity to bring a lot of people back. I
For
just
sure.
hope they don't get your beta like the Halo community did with Infinite.
Oh man. Don't speak it into existence, Mike.
Yeah,
Do it,
I
dude.
know. Anyways, let's talk about Super Meat Boy. So Super Meat Boy is back in bloody action. The Super Meat Boy 3D, a proper 3D action platformer coming in 2026. This game I've never seen before, but I'm all about platformers now. I used to hate platformers, and now I'm seeing stuff where I'm like, honestly, this looks kind of sick.
Yeah,
It's
it's
kind
a
of
nice
well put
3D one.
together. It's like, yeah, it looks like fun. It reminds me of it honestly reminds me of Super Mario. Is it 3D Odyssey? Odyssey, I think it is.
Odyssey Galaxy. Reminds me a lot of
Yeah,
Galaxy.
Galaxy is what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
been a while since I played that game.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
dude,
looks really
Super Meat
cool.
Boy. Yeah, the original one was a classic on 360. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
like bringing this back in a different way is awesome.
looks so nice. Going into it, you got Obsidian launching Grounded 2. So it's an ants eye view survival action game. Grounded is getting a sequel. So the first Grounded, I think, came out like 6 years ago or something, maybe even later. It was one of the games that made it onto Game Pass, and it was available for streaming purposes as well. So if you remember, it was the first game that I tried to use my tablet for to remote
Oh yeah,
log in and stream it. It was actually fairly decent. Um, yeah, it just reminds me of like Honey I Shrunk the Kids. And if you ever played the first one, you kind of know what you're going to get with this.
yeah,
Just looks fun and more multiplayer based game. A lot of cool stuff. And now we're getting more into not the biggest titles. Honestly, I'll probably get until about Cronus, but there's some things going on here. You got a sci-fi action adventure game from Don't Nod. It's called Aphelion.
yeah,
It was being developed in cooperation with European Space Agency, so that's kind of cool. And it's basically looks like a love letter to space and exploration into the cosmos.
yeah.
And it's
That's
all
cool.
yeah, like all kind of RPG single player what's it called? Linear story driven content.
Yeah,
It looks
yeah,
nice. It looks like you go through a bunch of crazy obstacles, but then you're also having to deal with the planet and probably the destruction of your ship. Looks like you're completely alone as well.
yeah. I mean, Don't Nod is always it's always just like Don't Nod. I feel like they've done so many different little games and things over the past few years since like the success of Life is Strange. So it's kind of like
Oh yeah.
it's been weird. So I don't know, but this looks interesting.
This is an interesting take though, because Don't Nod being with Life is Strange, that's a multiplayer. Well, it's not multiplayer. It's a single driven game, but it's very. It's not like linear at all. You basically make choices along the way,
Yeah, choices greatly
and
affect your story.
exactly. And this one, I wonder if they do the same thing.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Do
Anyways,
not
then you
know.
got a couple more here. You got a new Double Fine Studios game Keeper,
You're a
and
lighthouse. It's pretty
yeah,
sick. You're a
essentially,
walking lighthouse. It's kind of crazy.
yeah. Psychonauts 2 developer Double Fine Productions reveals its next game, Keeper, at the game Xbox Game Showcase. In it, you control a lighthouse on a stylish 3D adventure. It looks kind of cool. It
Definitely looks
looks
out of the
goofy. It
box.
looks an interesting take. That's what I love, man. That's what I really love. Just when you, who would have came up with this? I
Yeah,
got
I
an
don't
idea, guys. Let's be a
know.
lighthouse.
Oh man, crazy.
Yeah.
There's no
Oh.
ghost in the Grand Make. Yeah,
No,
no,
there's not.
this one's crazy.
Yeah. A spooky, cozy musical mystery that
Ooh,
also involves
furniture.
a renovation gun. There are no ghosts at the Grand. Cast you as a reluctant heir to a dude, dilapidated,
Dilapidated. Dilapidated.
dilapidated. Oh my gosh, thank you, dude. First of all, I'm only good with math. I can't read. Dilapidated hotel that was once renowned for its charm and hospitality. As you go room to room solving restoration puzzles, you'll also end up uncovering some surreal, supernatural secrets of the hotel's past. The game's official description promises. Interesting.
It's
It
pretty
looks
crazy.
bizarre
Yeah,
in like the traditional definition.
yeah. It's oh man, it's a lot going on. I'm
Oh yeah.
overloaded.
You're like rebuilding the world with this gun is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Puzzles and talking cats, I'm all in, dude. Random kinda could be cringe, a little dance. Who knows? Looks cool. Anyways, going on, we got Indiana Jones and the Great Circle DLC,
DLC.
Bethesda, and Machine Games DLC for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. The Order of Giants was revealed on September 4th, the release date. Yeah.
Gives me ready to
This
jump back in.
new story chapter takes Indiana Jones to the ancient streets of Rome, where forgotten catacombs twist into something far more sinister. Indy must outwit a
Sinister.
dangerous cult and decipher puzzles designed by emperors to uncover the dark legacy of Nephilim giants. Nephilim? Who is Nephilim?
The yeah, I feel like I should know that. I think it was something for the main
Uh,
Philium.
the Nephilim are described in Genesis 6:4 as mighty men of old, men of renown, who appeared on earth before and after the flood. Biblical accounts and other sources interpret them as an offspring of the sons of God, likely angels, and the daughters of men, resulting in giants or fallen ones. The Nephilim are often associated with violence and corruption, and their existence is seen as a consequence of rebellion against God's order.
Wow,
Whoa,
that's crazy.
interesting. That could be kind of cool. Last one I'm really going to just talk about real quick is this Cronus game. Developer Bloober Team's new sci-fi horror game. Cronus: The New Dawn is out this fall. Every new trailer looks more exciting than the last. We've kind of mentioned this a couple of times, I believe. Cronus.
Yeah,
The first one looked terrifying, and I love these types of trailers where you really don't know what's happening. One of those games that's like it's horror,
Dead
it's a
Space
shooter.
vibes, baby.
Yeah, like what's going on? Don't you know, you're definitely out there in the abyss. Like, yeah, you feel kind of powerless going against these monsters. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's got me intrigued, and every single one of these trailers is kind of like, here's a little bit more. Here's a little bit more. By the way, here's a couple more things, and you
Yeah.
just know there's got to be something deeper. That's got me intrigued. So that's coming out in fall 2025. There's a lot of good releases coming out this year, I think. And I know you already told me the rating before we started recording. What was your rating for the Summer Games
Man,
Fest and the
summer.
Xbox Game Pass?
Yeah, so Summer Games Fest. I don't
Xbox
know,
Game
like,
Showcase. My bad.
like. I mean, I think reviewing it again probably could have, probably could have changed a little bit. I originally gave it a 5. It's kind of just like, I think for overall it was, like it's definitely for me it was kind of like average. I didn't think it was like crazy good. I didn't think it was bad. It was kind of like the RE9 stuff. I was like that was certainly what I was most excited for, but like seeing some of the other games too and kind of really analyzing that after the fact, I'd probably bump it up to like a 6, maybe 6.5.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like I think yeah. I mean, that's just my honest take on it. Like I said, it didn't blow me away. Wasn't bad. Definitely kind of a middle of the road, maybe a little bit above average. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it's just kind of like this year and kind of what we're waiting for, and I think next year will be interesting, and it's got me excited for next year to
Yeah.
see kind of how 26, 27 is going to shape out. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
That's fair. I think there's a little bit of I don't know, my temperament was a little bit limited on what was gonna happen. Not temperament. That's not the right word. My expectations were a little bit limited, and the reason for that is just the amount of layoffs we've seen over the last 2 years.
Yeah,
It's just been absolutely brutal in the gaming industry, and there's also a whole bunch of unknown with what's going to happen with the economy and government policies, and how that might affect the people
yeah,
that are working on these projects or the cross collaborations, because a lot of these developers are in multiple countries, and just those teams functioning together, you never know what's going to happen, right? So I kind of expected to be mostly a teaser. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
like when you're doing a bunch of research on a game and you're really excited for the game and all you get is a teaser, you're like, okay. I mean, like I wanted the trailer, I wanted the trailer, but it's like the teaser's okay. I'm all right at that. So I went with that mindset of this is just gonna all be teasers, or it's gonna be a little bit added on here and there, stuff that we already knew, and or like confirming rumors that we've kind of known about for months now.
yeah.
And I would give it about a 7. I'm gonna go a little bit higher than a six and
All
a
right.
half. I'll
Oh,
give it a 7, a
okay,
nice little C.
okay.
Um, Not terrible, not great, just pretty average. I think by the end of this year, we'll probably see more trailers where it's gonna be like, "Oh, dude, 2026 is gonna be it."
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, and I'm fully expecting that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, just looking at some of the games that are currently slated for 26 definitely has me excited. That probably weren't
Yes,
necessarily
sir.
talked about these showcases. There's a lot there. So I don't know, man. Yeah, I think that was pretty good. Xbox showcase. It was a good like 7.5 for me. I thought it was a good. It was my favorite of this weekend for sure. I think he's definitely seeing Clockwork and kind of all these crazy games and just kind of seeing what Xbox has cooking, but also keeping in mind like the Fables and Elder
Oh, yeah.
Scrolls and kind of all that stuff that's
Grand Theft Auto.
it's brewing, yeah, and
Like,
all that stuff is kind of brewing, especially in the Xbox space. I mean, I think there's a lot to look
yeah,
forward to, but I enjoyed a lot of the. Yeah, I think pound for pound, trailer for trailer, I was definitely enjoying the Xbox showcase more. So
Yeah, there's definitely one of the reasons why I think the games weren't as big this year is because of the fact that there is a 25-year anniversary for Xbox.
Yeah.
I'm like more than convinced that they're going to be doing some type of 25th
Oh, it's gonna
anniversary
go
themed
crazy.
Xbox.
Yeah.
They're going to be doing themed Fable Xboxes, themed
Yeah, for
Forza,
sure.
themed Gears of War, themed
Yeah.
the definitely themed Call of Duty. I think the only themed Xbox Series X that I know about is the Halo Infinite theme. Did they make another one?
I think they did a Starfield one, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds about right because
I could
they
have
put
sworn
a
they did it.
lot of money in hoping Starfield would be the next big IP. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
oh man. Yeah, that was one critique I saw, and I think even on like the Starfield Reddit, like there's some diehard like fans, people like modding the game and still and they're just like
Yeah.
they were disappointed there wasn't any Starfield in the Xbox showcase, and I think and there's different ways you can look at it. You could say like, oh, like Bethesda and Xbox is kind of just like not maybe not giving up on the game, but they're definitely like deprioritizing Starfield content. That's one way of looking at it. I saw other
Yeah.
theories too, like X with Starfield coming to PS5, like that's if they do announce an X DLC or any more content for Starfield, they're probably just gonna wait until the PS5 announcement or the PS5 kind of when they get closer to releasing it for that, which that could be a thing. They're just waiting to kind of when they talk about PS5, they're like, oh, by the way, we have another DLC in the works and stuff like
It's
that.
true.
That's
Yeah.
one thing. I mean, that's a positive look at it, an optimistic look at it, I should say. Most people are probably like in the mind of like, well, they saw Shattered Space, really didn't offer much. There
Yep.
wasn't a whole lot there, and the reception was very poor, and so it's kind of just like, and maybe Bethesda looked at that and said like, well, we should probably just like focus on Elder Scrolls and maybe not
Hmm.
put as many resources in Starfield. Definitely a possibility. There's no saying where they're at now, but yeah, man, I mean, I feel for the Starfield crew because like there's people that still love that game. Um, so it's like when I look back on it, it was like I enjoyed it in the moment, but like after seeing many kind of critiques and really analyzing and thinking back, it's like, oh yeah, there was definitely a lot of shortcomings with that game, and I think there was a lot that people were hoping for that just weren't quite there. Had a
Right.
limitation of creation engine and kind of their tool set. So I don't know. We talked about it before. I won't rehash, but yeah, it's I don't know. It's disappointing not to see that. I think for a lot of people. So I'll be curious to see what they actually end up doing with Starfield. And I don't know. I don't know. It's got a lot of people not as excited for the next Elder Scrolls game too, which you always hate to see. But it's just kind of
Yeah. I mean, it's tough, but we'll just have to actually get to that point where it's all coming out to actually see how
yeah,
it's gonna play out. I don't like to speculate too much on the negativity in terms of new release games and stuff because you don't want to kill a game too early, you know?
yeah, it's true.
Give it a chance. Unless like there's undeniable evidence before the game's released that you're completely screwed. Like the betas are trash, the early access reviews are really bad, or
Yeah,
you're flipping through um
there's not
like
much
studio
communication.
heads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not much
Yeah, yeah. It's
communication. Well, there's some
like
red
there are
flags for sure.
signs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marathon. But yeah,
Yeah. I
there's
was kind of
signs.
thinking of that. I was
Uh,
kind of thinking that.
um, yeah, no, I mean, there was for look overall Xbox Showcase. Thought it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it.
Nice.
Summer Games Fest again wasn't bad. I we just be excited for next year. Kind of see what they have all to offer.
Yep.
But I'm
I
always
will say
always
this,
grateful for these showcases.
dude. Absolutely. Like without these, we'd be bored.
Yeah,
Summer's long, man. All the good games come out in the fall. We know this. Got to get ready for the holidays.
fall winter.
Yeah.
So
Let me tell you this. So with Phil Spencer saying that the 25-year celebration of Xbox with a new Fable, new Forza, Call of Duty E-Day, and the return of a classic that's been with us since the beginning. And then he doesn't mention anything, but it goes into the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 trailer. So a lot of people got kind of debated, but at the same time, Call of Duty's sort of always been on Xbox.
yeah,
Now, here's what I came up with: a list of games on from the original Xbox that launched not just as a launch title, because the launch title games were Xbox. Yeah, it was Halo Combat Evolved, Project Gotham Racing, and then believe it or not, Dead or Alive 3 were the 3 games that
That's
came out on the
crazy.
original Xbox, right off the bat. Now there are some other ones. Okay, let's see if you know them. You got Ninja Gaiden, you
Okay.
got Mech Assault, Tom
Yeah.
Clancy, Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, Fusion Frenzy, Jade Empire, Jet Set Radio, Outrun 2006, Steel Battalion, The Chronicles of Riddick, believe it or not, was actually a launch
That's
title game.
crazy.
Elder Scrolls, of course, Blinks, Burnout 3, Crimson Skies, loved Crimson
Okay.
Skies, by the way, Dead to Rights, Fable, of course, Psychonauts, and then Panzer Dragon. So out of that list, what if they just debate the hell out of us and do a Jet Set Radio launch, even though they've already kind of just came out with one?
It'd be good. That'd be
Yeah,
good. They have a lot of
you know,
opportunity to debate here after you read all this. Stuff.
yeah. Quite honestly, I could see them doing Project Gotham Racing,
Yeah,
but
maybe.
at the same time, would you really want to compete with your own title at Forza?
Yeah, probably not.
No, probably not. Tom Clancy Chaos Theory.
Tom Clancy Splinter Cell, you say? Splinter Cell.
That's the one, bro. That's the one. That's what it
Interesting.
came out with.
That's what Ubisoft needs to do to get out of
Yeah,
the
go
gutter,
lock
bro.
there, dude. In my dreams, I get out of the gutter.
Yeah, did
Let's
you see
see
the
here.
Ubisoft forward? Oh wait.
Yeah,
Um,
wait. Tough. Um, yeah, but basically those were like more Xbox exclusive kind of Xbox launch generation titles
yeah.
because people don't really realize this. There were multiple iterations of the original Xbox,
Hmm.
and each one of them was kind of launched with another big title. Uh, it wasn't that, dude. Early 2000s was weird for
Yeah.
marketing in terms of gaming. The
Dude,
money
yeah.
is not in it like it is
Cause
now.
yeah, I mean there was like the really fat Xbox and the Xbox Slim, right? It was like the
For the no, sort of.
OG. Didn't the OG have a Slim or am I tripping?
No, not. You're thinking the controllers. So the
Yeah, I
controllers
guess.
being the big ones. I don't have it around here. I put it in the
The
box
Duke.
up in the
The
attic.
Duke.
The Duke is just freaking massive, and they got the S type controller because the Japanese audience they couldn't grip it. They were saying like it was super uncomfortable, and Xbox was like, okay, we need to fix this. So they went and did that. They did have a limited edition console that was like a lot of people don't realize that there was like a crystal version where you can see through it because that used to be the big thing back in the day.
I mean Mountain Dew console.
Uh,
That's what I want.
Mountain Dew. There was a Halo one. There was an Xbox one, like a green Xbox one. There was a green Halo one. There was a smoke, like a
Oh
black
yeah, the
smoke
black.
one.
Yeah.
There was a see-through clear, which they called crystal, and then there was a limited edition all white as well.
Bro.
Those were for general consumers. They had a developer kit, which is basically a computer
Yeah.
stand. Yeah, it's interesting to say the least, but it was kind of cool. No, but in terms of slim, like we have now
It's
with
not
pretty much
enough.
every Xbox, like nah, it's not the same.
Dang.
You might be confusing it with Xbox 360, who had
Tripping.
like
I guess it's when they
8
started
different
it's
versions.
just when they
Yeah.
started the Slim and the E
hmm
and I love how the E was like it's like the Xbox One was out and they were like, we're gonna make another 360 version. Like, okay. I mean it was
Yeah.
modeled
Okay. Whatever.
after an Xbox. I mean it looked like an Xbox One. Like they
Oh
pretty
yeah,
much just
yeah, it
said
definitely
like
did. Yeah.
let's just make it the Xbox One.
I thought about buying it. There was a couple of them that were at the Goodwill not too long ago, and I was
Yeah.
like, that looks like limited edition. Then I googled it, and it was going for like $20 more on eBay. And I'm like, I don't care that much.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like grab it and flip
Yeah, it
it.
was I mean that was like the last generation they released of those. But yeah, it was
Yeah,
yeah. I mean they look cool, but
yeah, it is what it is. Pretty cool though. It's just very nice to see Xbox gonna do something special for the 25-year anniversary. Kind of bummed about some of the stuff that we saw, but at the same time, it happens. You know,
yeah.
we're gonna get more stuff going on for the rest of the year. There are more showcases coming. We got a lot of Nintendo. Nintendo better be coming heavy with their Nintendo Direct soon because they've only
They need
kind of
games,
showed
man.
off. Yeah,
They
they
need
really
games.
only showed off like 2 or 3 games. You got the intro, and then you got Mario
Got
Kart
Mario
World.
Kart World and the Switch 2 interactive intro
Yeah,
game that has a price on it. So
and then I'm pretty sure like Mario Party or something.
yeah,
So it's like that's really cool. That's awesome, but
crazy.
you know what would be nice is
Yeah.
if we can get more games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, all I have to say about one more thing about Xbox, having your one more thing be Call of Duty Black Ops 7. It's kind of crazy. It's it's certainly a move. You know, it's certainly a it's certainly a play.
Sending a message.
It's one way of doing things, I guess. I don't know, dude. Still upset about it. But
well, they must be working on new Halo though. I mean, they rebranded the entire studio.
They have to be, dude. They went to Unreal. They have to be.
What's Unreal is they're probably won't be a finished product.
Dude, I can't wait for this next Halo. I'm actually curious. I'm genuinely curious. Like,
we're gonna find out real quick because they've been blaming the engine this entire time.
Dude,
we're about to find out
that's
real
what I'm
quick,
saying, dude. I'm so curious.
It's like, is it the engine though? Is it? Because that game launches and it's broken. If I can't flip through the menus without my PC exploding, that's on you, dog. That's a you problem.
It's so hilarious. I can't wait. I actually can't wait.
Yes, sir. All right, let's go ahead and wrap up. We've been recording, not even live. We've been recording for an hour and 40 minutes, dude. It's been a minute. It's been a long time. Let's go stretch our legs. Let's let the people go. Let's get some more water. I'm really thirsty. I've been yapping this whole time. And do you have anything to add? I don't think you do. We're good, right?
Nah, dude. It's late.
All right. Yeah, it is. It's super late. Well, let's just go ahead and wrap it up. For those of you that are still sticking around, we absolutely appreciate it. Thank you so much for being around here. We do have links in the description below. We do have timestamps if you want to come back. We know this is going to be intense to digest. Hopefully, you're just put us on in the background while you're listening to us. While you're working, you can just listen to us. That's how I do podcasts. I don't know if you do it that way, Kyle, but that's what I do. I'll put on sports podcasts, listen to my favorite teams and all of this kind of stuff while I'm designing. But we appreciate you. Links in the description. We have connections to social media if you want to hit us up there. I don't think we're really even that active anymore on social media, but if you want to catch us, you can find us. And we'll see you in the next one. Until then, this has been the M2 Podcast. I'm Michael Yancey. That's Kyle Heath. And we'll catch you in the next one. We'll see you later.
Play games. Get excited for games. Bye.
Yeah, play games. Tell us what you've been playing.